Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, guys, are you excited?
Yes, we are very excited, me and me only.
Okay, so this meeting is being recorded. Perfect. Let's see, I'm testing the lights now. Better?
Yes, it's good. It's good.
Perfect. Okay, so shall we start with you, Ayman?
Okay.
Right, so we don't have much time, so let's see. Hold on.
I am with Yusuf and Salima.
Perfect. What is your project about?
I think it will be about it's about the first one, which we will choose a data set from Kaggle.
Which data set are you going to use?
I am not sure. We said we will discuss it today, but they didn't answer me. But I think it will be similar to the one we used in data mining. So I'm not sure if it will be the same or different. But I think it will be like a similar concept.
Okay, so you plan to copy edit some code existing in Kaggle notebook and do your explanation, or what?
Yeah, we will try to visualize it like in Tableau, hopefully. And
You will take a data set from Kaggle and visualize it in Tableau?
yeah, hopefully, yeah.
Okay, good.
This is what I think should happen, because like they said today we will discuss, and then I didn't see them.
Right. Well, I think the final project is like 20% of your grade, so it's worth taking. Do a good job, I think. Yeah, because it's easy grade to get. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, welcome everybody. Fantastic. Okay, well, go back to your colleagues and decide the data set, and then I will tell you if it's a good idea or not.
Okay, I will.
Any
We
data
will
set you
send
like.
it through Slack maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Salim entered.
If you just take a data set and analyze it in Tableau, maybe you can make a story in Tableau that's interesting. Yeah, why not? I think it could be interesting. But if you want a good grade, you have to do something meaningful. Do you understand, Ayman?
Yes.
Like a bit more than what we did in class. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Or what we did in class, if you show me, well, this is what happened in Kaggle, and usually Kaggle visualizations are not very good. They're not very good at explaining what's going on in the data set. But if you show me that you managed to connect this data to knowledge, to connect it to another knowledge framework, and you manage to create new knowledge that nobody has created in Kaggle, then I think you get an A. But if you just move it to Tableau and replicate the same charts in Tableau.
No. It will be like we will try to tell the story, and we will use Tableau to visualize it.
There's a feature in Tableau where you can storytell and make like a poster, right? And if you look at Make Opera Mondays hashtag on Twitter, you see a lot of beautiful examples. It doesn't have to be very complicated, but what's interesting is to create an insight that nobody got thanks to the Tableau visualization. So that could be very interesting, but it's a bit risky. So it means you have to work these ideas don't come like that, you know. It's hard work. Like to get to this stage, maybe you need to work 10, 20 hours thinking and asking people and stuff like that, including the professor you can ask for help. Okay, good. So that's clear for Ayman Group. He's going to do a Tableau visualization of some unknown Kaggle dataset. Fantastic. Who else has issues with the final project? Now speak, because this is the Q&A time. Right, which one is the next group? Let's see. Right, so for those of you that want to visualize some data set from Dubai, so there is this Dubai Pulse, and here you can find data sets of Dubai only, not UAE, but with D3 or Tableau or some other library or some Hans Rosling, if you see, there's some very interesting data sets here. So you can try to, you can take something here and say, look, this is what they try to say. This is how to tell a better story or a more interesting story. Or here's this chart that nobody has done about UAE. Excellent, including coronavirus, stuff like that. That sounds interesting. Good. So this was a question from somebody. Okay, good. I'm trying to find the. Okay, so Shamsa Al-Saidi, are you here? No.
You mean Shamma?
Shamma, sorry, Shamma Al-Saidi. Yeah. Shamma,
Yes.
who is your team?
Hanan.
Okay.
And I.
Okay, good. So did you decide the topic?
Yes, I talked about it last class about coronavirus. We are going to compare between two countries, one that did act quickly and the other did not.
Which two countries are these ones?
For now, we are thinking China and US, but I may change China to maybe Japan or Korea because they did that.
But you know, China is not a democracy. There is no transparency. We don't know if the data it's real or fake. So many scientists believe that it's very weird that China has 0 cases, being such a big country.
Yes,
it's almost like a very, very big lie. So I wouldn't choose China. It's not reliable data, and you cannot trust it. And they have a history of lying also. So I think it's much better if you pick up serious countries, like any European country, for example, where they usually don't lie about these things. For example, Sweden and Denmark, they usually don't lie.
Yes.
That could be very good. Or
Sweden
and Finland, for example. These countries are serious countries that they don't lie about these things. But I wouldn't pick China because it's too big and it's weird that they have 0 cases. It's absolutely incredible, embarrassing. So yeah, US, it's a very big country also. It's not very good for comparisons. But what you can compare is, for example, Sweden that had a very different policy than its neighbors, Norway, Finland, and Denmark. So these 4 countries are very similar, but Sweden had no masks and open gates policy and no lockdown. And Finland and the other ones had closed the borders, lockdowns, and masks. And so you can, if you want to compare, if the measures are effective, you can check that. We also have written a paper in our department about public policy. We compared, I think, 21 countries and how they implemented the policies. And it's also very interesting to check. It's a very good challenge. Okay, so that's really good. Yeah, Fantastic. Are you going to use Tableau or notebooks?
Yes,
or what?
Tableau.
Fantastic. Wonderful. Good. There's a very good visualization on TikTok today about coronavirus. I will send it to you later. Excellent. Remember that in Tableau you have a place to tell a story.
Yes, they call it like dashboard, and then there is also a story.
We'll use it.
Yes, we will use it.
Fantastic. Excellent. I send you my archive. Let's see. Chief. Let's see. It's good that you check all the visualizations. Here, this is a paper we published. I was in charge of doing the visuals, so you can get some inspiration of what to do and what not to do. You can download it here. I will post it here. Fantastic. Next, Beshala. Beshala? Beshire. Okay, Nura and Raya. Nura and Raya. Nura? Nura? Nura and Raya, Beshire.
Yes, hi, doctor.
I couldn't hear you. Okay, go on. What's your team plan? Not everybody at the same time. Okay, Beshala, you can speak now. Nura, Raya, Salima.
There.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I am with Yusuf and Ayman.
Okay, so do you know what you have to do?
Yes.
Well, because I talked to Ayman and I don't think he has a very clear idea. Did you decide which data set are you going to work in?
Yes, we discussed now.
You're going to discuss now?
Yes.
Good. Okay, so you can just go and discuss with them. Yeah, go ahead. Who else has issues with the final project?
Me, sir.
What's your name?
Sarah.
Sarah. Okay, good.
So,
Yeah.
okay, I chose a data set about the university's rankings, and I'm planning like to do
That's
like comparison.
Yeah, great. I love it.
To compare like the top universities with our university. Maybe we can see what we can do to be like them. But the problem is that like the dataset is only from 2012 to 2015, and not all records are there. Like
okay,
for
so, yeah, what are you gonna do?
Should I like find another one, or I can work with it?
When you have a gap, you can make a straight line between the two close points. If you have a gap, it's called interpolation. So just fill the gap.
Yeah, like, but for our university, like only two numbers are there for 2014 and 2015. But before there's nothing.
Because we were not ranked. So you can do an interpolation. Like look at the slope of the 2 points and make a straight line.
Yeah, okay.
Which data set are you looking at?
It's called, wait a second. It's from Kaggle. It's called something like universities ranking, something like this.
Why don't you
World
look?
University.
Okay, you can look at other data sets. For example, the website called Glassdoor, where the employees rate how happy they are. Glassdoor.com. Glassdoor.com. So here you could check the rankings between various universities. And well, that would be interesting. Like you could compare our university with Stanford University and another one, and Sultan Al Qaboos, for example, or whatever. And you can do a Hans Rosling chart, and you can plot 2 dimensions like rankings in the higher chronicle of higher education, and also here on the y-axis you can put time, or you can put the customer satisfaction, no, employee satisfaction and time, or you can plot both time and customer satisfaction and ranking to see if they are correlated or not. Or you can plot in one side y-axis customer satisfaction, x-axis you can plot the ranking, and then do a Hans Rosling chart where the universities are moving in the chart. That's very cool. You can do this with Google spreadsheets, not very complicated. I think that would be fantastic and also shocking. you get a bit shocked. That's one idea. It's just an idea, but what were you thinking about?
About what?
What were you thinking with the data set you had? Can you share the data set, the link in the Slack?
Yeah, I will.
All right, let me know. Cool, excellent. So I think that's cool. That sounds like an interesting thing. Okay, who else needs help, wants to talk? Salima Ali and Youssef Hamed.
Yes, sir.
Do you have a team?
I tell you.
Oh, you tell me. You tell me.
Yes, sir. We will do together, Yusuf and Ayman and me.
Okay, so you can go and work.
You can go, yes?
You can go. Yeah?
I write in the chat, but maybe you don't see.
Don't worry. Just go, work.
Okay, thank you.
Somebody else need help?
Yes, hi, doctor. I'm Raya. Sorry,
Raya.
I was on a crowded place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you which team are you? Have you decided what you want to do?
Actually, we chose a data set from Dubai Pulse.
Yep. Which ones?
It's about the flight information departures.
Okay. And
actually, we're still thinking about what we can get from this data, and we're going to use Tableau to visualize it.
Okay, so what's your plan?
Still, we are discussing about it.
Okay, so what I would do if I was you, how would you create knowledge from this flight data set?
I think first we have to clean the data.
Okay.
And then we're gonna visualize it, or just we're gonna skim before visualize it to choose the attributes that we're gonna concern about it. And then we're gonna visualize it.
You can do various things here, we said in class that if you want to make the data set, you want to create knowledge from the data set, you need to connect it to some other thinking frameworks, right? And so what other frameworks might be interesting to connect this flight data? For example, you could connect it to the temperatures, right? You could connect the number of flights to the temperatures and see, for example, that when it's good temperature, people fly more to Dubai. And when it's high temperature in the summer, people fly less to Dubai, for example. That could be interesting. Yeah, so connected to tourism, weather, the economy, for example, and to see how the coronavirus has affected the flight numbers and also the GDP, right? So to see if you could use the flight numbers as a predictor, forward predictor of economy, or the opposite, right? So try to explore what is the value in this data, if there is some predictive value or no. Sounds good? You can connect it also to the price of houses and stuff like that. So connecting the data you have, which is very interesting, to other data, weather, economy, coronavirus, infected people, etc., might create knowledge from the data. Sounds good?
Yes.
Okay, well, any question, just ask me. And remember that Tableau has collaboration, so I'm your friend, I'm not your enemy, so I'm here to help. So why would you not show me what you're doing and wait until the last day and then you show it to me and I say, this is very bad, right? So use me to help you get an A. Yes, sure. This is not an exam, this is a project where you can show what you learn. And that's the point of the project, right? Yes. It's not an exam. Yeah. Good. Fantastic. Any more questions, please? Sarah.
Yes.
What is your project?
Yeah, I just discussed this with you about the university.
Okay, is it clear?
Yeah.
Good. I will show you. Yeah, I did an interesting project a few years ago. Do you want to see it?
Sure.
It might give you some inspiration. I presented actually in the university. And the dean loved it a lot, but the rest of the professors hated it. It's called How RISD Became RISD. And it's a very simple analysis. How RISD became RISD. So there was a very boring design school in America called RISD. It was very boring because it was full of old professors that didn't want to learn Flash, Java, JavaScript, or Adobe Photoshop. It was an art school and they were teaching how to paint, how to draw, how to this, but they were not teaching how to be a digital artist. So they bring a new boss, a famous guy called John Maeda from MIT, to this school. And John Maeda decided we need to change, because if our students want to find jobs in the future, they will not find a job if they know how to paint with a brush. They will not find a job if they know how to sculpt a sculpture. They will find a job if they know how to use Photoshop, Illustrator, CAD, and digital crafts, because that's in high demand. And so he told the professors that they need to change. Instead of teaching how to paint with a brush, they need to teach how to Photoshop the software. And it was a famous case because after just 3 years, this school became in the top 10 of the most prestigious design schools in the world. So that's pretty amazing. And I did a small data science project. I took all the syllabus from all the subjects before this guy arrived, John Maida, and after, and I counted how many times the word digital, wait a second. Give me a second, I'm in a class, 5 minutes. Have a coffee. Sorry. How it changed. So how many times the word digital was mentioned in the yearbook, so in the syllabuses. And you can see that after he arrived, digital became, so digital art, digital this, digital that, digital marketing. And you can see the change. And you can see also how before the students did not get many interesting jobs or in good companies, and after they start getting very good jobs. And this was shown in the salaries. So before, the students were getting a salary of $100,000, and after just 3 years, they were getting significantly higher salaries, like much higher. This is just because it doesn't mean that because the word digital appeared, this happened, but it's an interesting correlation. It doesn't prove it that this is the reason, but it's interesting. And so I told the UAE University that we need to change as well, and then we need to update our curriculums. But I was unable to convince them because maybe my storytelling is not so good. Anyway, you get it? So this is a very interesting story with a very simple data set. So here I did a Python language analysis and just to count the words before and after and just make this interesting chart. All right, so that's a very simple story. Got it?
Yes.
Good. So in this case, we connected the data set, which is not only connected the data set, but we connected the story, which was already there, a transformation, and we connected to the syllabuses, what's inside the syllabuses, the content. And we pick one keyword only. That really shows it's a symptom of how it changed, right? To try to tell the story that we need to update the content of what we teach. So in this case, we didn't discover new knowledge. I just wanted to storytell and in a simple way of saying, hey, like, look, the content really matters so that our students get better jobs. Good, awesome. So good. Any other questions? Fantastic. Okay, so if you don't have any more questions, we'll stop here. Remember that I'm your friend. My job is to help you get an A in this final project. I want everybody to get an A, so use me, ask for feedback as often as you can, and work fast and early and quickly in the beginning. Set up a collaboration system. In Miro, Tableau is perfect for collaboration. Kaggle Notebooks also has collaboration inside, and just go for it. Yeah.
Yes.
If you have difficulty creating knowledge from the data set, it's completely normal because you are young and you don't know many things about economics, sociology, or anthropology. So, but just ask when you get stuck. Or ask your parents. Yes.
I want to ask a question. Do you think it's better to find data to study a case study? Like find the topic and study something like you did with the syllabus?
It doesn't matter. Like what matters is, so I'm not going to grade the content of your presentation. I'm just going to grade if you apply the methods that we saw in class. Like it's very risky to try to find something awesome in some random data set, right? Like it's hard work. Like it doesn't depend only on you. It depends on the chance that there is something interesting actually in the data set. So don't worry so much about it. Just Just take some data set that you like, some story that you like to tell, and just tell it with visualization. Yes. And if you get stuck, don't be afraid to change the data set or change something else. Yeah. It's really good if you focus on local data sets, because there's not so many visualizations about local data sets. And as I said before, you will find a lot of inspiration in Makeover Monday hashtag on Twitter. Super.
Super.
So start from the story you want to tell, and then think, I can use Tableau to do this, I can use that. And if you start from the data set, do an exploratory data analysis, try to visualize what's inside the data set, to see what's inside, what's going on, what story could be told. So they have to top-down approach or bottom-up approach to things. Awesome, cool. So we'll leave it here. Questions, Slack me, and remember, I'm your friend. I'm your friend to help you. So yeah, just ask me, use me, and so on. So the deadline, somebody asked me. So obviously before the final exam. So I would say, do you know when we have the final exam? I don't know it either, I will check, but I think it should be before the final project is on the 10th of December. So I think you have at most 2 weeks to finish this. So, okay, I will set the deadline about December 3rd or something. Sounds good?
It's on 16th December, Doctor.
Come again? What?
It's on 16th.
The final exam is on the 16th.
Yes.
Perfect. So I guess 10th is a good deadline. But I think we should set it up earlier, because you will have exams starting earlier, right? So I don't want to, so let's see, 2 weeks. What about 5th? Is that good?
Maybe 7th.
7th?
No, I think 5th, because we have senior presentation.
Yeah, let's do that. 5th deadline. The deliverable is a Tableau visual or some Kaggle notebook. And you can make a 30 seconds video presentation showing me, moving around the, showing me the chart and with a voiceover. Sounds good?
Perfect.
Are you excited?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so this is the chance to show me that you got it.
Inshallah.
Okay, guys, see you soon. Fantastic.
Thank you, Doctor.
Good evening.
Hakuna
Thank you,
Matata.
Doctor.
Namaste. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste. Here.